Good morning. Welcome to Pat's Pondering. I have a story here today, the chicken soup for the woman's soul, that really hits home for me. I feel like she's telling my story. Finding my wings. Reach high, for stars lie hidden in your soul. Dream deep, for every dream precedes the goal. That was written by Pamela Val Starr. Sorry about that. Just one moment, please. Hang on, I'm going to shut this off. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. This is Finding My Wings. Like so many other girls, my self-confidence growing up was almost non-existent. I doubted my abilities, had little faith in my potential, and questioned my personal worth. If I achieved good grades, I believed that I was just lucky. Although I made friends easily, I worried that once they know me, the friendship wouldn't last. And when things went well, I thought I was just in the right place at the right time. I even rejected praise and compliments. The choices I made reflected my self-image. While in my teens, I attracted a man with the same low self-esteem. In spite of his violent temper and extremely rocky dating relationship, I decided to marry him. I still remember my dad whispering to me before walking down the aisle, "It's not too late. You can change your mind." My family knew what a terrible mistake I was making. Within weeks, I knew it too. The physical abuse lasted for several years. I survived serious injuries, was covered with bruises much of the time, and had to be hospitalized in numerous occasions. Life became a blur of police sirens, doctors' reports, and family court appearances. Yet I continued to go back to the relationship, hoping that things would somehow improve. After we had our two little girls, there were times when all that got me through the night was having those chubby little arms wrapped around my neck, pudgy cheeks pressed against mine, and precious toddler voices saying, "It's all right, Mommy. Everything will be okay." But I knew that it wasn't going to be okay. I had to make changes, if not for myself, but to protect my little girls. Then something gave me the courage to change. Through work, I was able to attend a series of professional development seminars. In one, the presenter talked about turning dreams into realities. That was hard for me, even a dream about a better future. But something in the message made me listen. When I went to the Dream Builder webinar, it changed my life. I knew I had to make a change. And like I said, it's like reading my own story. My children were 3 and 7. And again, I took many black eyes. But when he hit my son, I had to do something. I couldn't take that. She asked us to consider two powerful questions. If you could be, do, or have anything in the world, you knew it would be impossible to fail, what would you choose? And if you could create your ideal life, what would you dare to dream? In that moment, my life began to change. I began to dream. This is what my coaching is about. This is what led me to my coaching and talking about my dreams. And like her, I had a dream of freedom. Hear how she's went. I imagined having the courage to move my children into an apartment of our own and start over. I pictured a better life for my girls and me. I dreamed about being an international motivational speaker so that I could inspire people the way the seminar leader had inspired me. I saw myself writing my story to encourage others. So I went on to create a clear visual pattern or picture of my new success. I envisioned myself wearing a red business suit, carrying a leather briefcase, and getting on an airplane. This was quite a stretch for me, since the time I couldn't even afford a suit. Yet I knew that if I was going to dream, it was important to fill in the details of my five senses. Those details are critical because it makes it look real. So I went on to the leather store and modeled a briefcase in front of a mirror. How would it look and feel? What does leather smell like? I tried on some red suits and even found a picture of a woman in a red suit carrying a briefcase and getting on an airplane. I hung the picture up where I could see it every day. It helped to keep the dream alive. And soon the changes began. I moved with my children to a small apartment. On only $98 a week salary, we ate a lot of peanut butter and drove an old jalopy. But for the first time, we felt free and safe. I worked hard at my sales career, all the time focusing on my impossible dream. Then one day I answered the phone, and the voice on the other end asked me to speak at the company's upcoming annual conference. I accepted, and my speech was a success. This led to a series of promotions, eventually to national sales trainer. I went on to develop my own speaking company, and having traveled to many countries around the world, my impossible dream had become a reality. I believe that all success begins with spreading your wings, believing in your worth, W, trusting your insight, I, nurturing yourself, N, having a goal, G, and devisiting a personal strategy, S, and then even impossible dreams become real. This was written by Sue Augustine. I don't know Sue, but she's done much of the same work as what I've done with my life coaching. And I went on to the grief counseling too, but I love the way that she words it. You've got to go into the detail. You've got to visualize it as if you're there. When she went to that store and held that briefcase, she was in the moment that she had that dream. You have to come from the dream and just know that it is possible, and you keep working towards it. And my heart goes out to her for being in an abusive relationship. And like I said, I could take a lot of black eyes, but don't hit my son. Don't beat my son. I found a rifle with a bullet in the chamber, and I knew it had my name on it. We had to leave. We waited until he went out of town for work. His friends helped me pack, put what we could into a 6x12 U-Haul, and we headed out of town. The next morning, we sat in the hotel, all three of us in the same bed watching cartoons. And it was the first time I saw my children laugh in a long time. I was so grateful. So very grateful. We were free. I understand her feeling. And I've gone on to accomplish my dreams too. If you want to talk about your dreams, I will gift you a free 30-minute conversation. If you just go to www.patacklerroth.com/conversation. No charge at all. Let's talk about your dream. Or if you're having a problem with grief, we can go that way too. I love that my life changed, but it wouldn't change until I made that decision. I took those steps. And my daughter would say, Mama, please, let's just leave. I said, if we leave, it's going to be my decision. I didn't want the guilt on her back if things went wrong after we'd left. It was my responsibility. It was my responsibility to take care of my children and offer them a better future. And I'm so glad I did. So glad. We went from Houston to Jacksonville, Florida. And we had a new life. And we started over. And we were happy. If you're in that situation, know you can get away. There's places to go to, there's people to call. Don't stay in a situation that you're going to be hurt or your family's going to be hurt. I pray for a good tomorrow for you. And you could do it. I did it. I understand. And you could do it too. God bless you all. Bye for now.